I have a sample card of the new Chanel Allure Homme Sport Superleggera. So I went to a mall outside of the city, maybe 30 minutes away, so not one of the main malls. A few days after this released, and I asked at Macy's, one of the ladies working at the Chanel counter if they had this new fragrance. And she just told me, oh, we don't have it yet. It's out on the 27th, although it was like a few days after the 27th. And I told her, like, today's whatever day, the 27th, is already passed. She's like, oh, and she went to the back and got, I don't know, about a dozen bottles of this or so. So I suspect maybe this isn't that hyped or that popular, or maybe inside the city it is, but I don't know. I just found it interesting that, they didn't have it out yet, or nobody in that part of town asked for it and they brought it out. But who knows? Maybe fragrances aren't that popular as I would think or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's something interesting that I thought of since, they didn't have it out and this is a Chanel fragrance. But anyway, she sprayed it on the card. I didn't want to ask her to spray it on me or anything. I was like, a card's good, and I smelled it real quick, and I was let down immediately. I was like, this is it. And so basically I just thought basic fragrance. I thought if this is in a I don't know, a Tommy Hilfiger or Mont Blanc bottle or something, or just any generic fragrance, and it stayed that way. It didn't become better or anything. How I would describe it is it smells like a light, fresher blue fragrance. Almost like Bleu de Chanel in a way. I don't think it's better than any Bleu de Chanel fragrance. I'll take that back. I would prefer to wear this over Bleu de Chanel, but is it better blended, or do I think people are going to like it better? No, I don't think so, but this reminds me more of a Bleu de Chanel light than a Allure a light. I mean, maybe both of them combined, but Allure, I get kind of like a 90s mall smell. I feel like it's just been worn so much. I like it, and I think back then I would have liked it more. I wasn't really into fragrances that heavy back then, but when Chanel Allure Sport Cologne came out, I remember that was one of my favorites. I never bought a bottle. Eventually, I went back and forth smelling Dior Homme Cologne and the Chanel Allure Cologne, and I decided on Dior Homme Cologne because it was just brighter, fresher, and then the dry down, the Chanel one, it had vanilla in it, so it was a little sweeter. Chanel tends to do that, it seems like. They add like vanilla to a lot of their mass appealing fragrances, it seems like. I could be wrong, but I feel like I noticed that a lot. They kind of smooth it out with vanilla or tonka maybe. But yeah, this is my least favorite from the Chanel Allure line. I think I like the cologne one the best, and then probably Allure Sport. The original is really good. I've known people that own that, and yeah, I don't want to wear something that reminds me of people, but I do like the Sport one. The Allure smells a little dated to me, and the Extreme one, I never got really into that. Maybe I should smell it again. I think it's good. I feel like a lot of people have it, and I do think it's overhyped a little bit. I do prefer the Extreme over Bleu de Chanel's, and I would rather wear any of the Allures over Bleu de Chanel. I'm pretty sure, even this one, but out of all the Allures, this is my least favorite one. I basically get an Embroxini basic designer fragrance, like one that you could get for $40 or something, and they want $170 for this. You can go and get Ego East or Antaeus for, like, I think it's 130 now or something like that. And those are much better fragrances than this, and higher quality, in my opinion, too. It, a side note, I remember Ego East like a couple years ago, and even Anateus was like $90, and I thought that was a good deal back then. And then it went up to 100, and then I think 110, 115, 120, 130. It's like every 6 months in the last couple of years they're raising them $5 or $10, and the exclusives are going up like $25 to $50 twice a year. It's getting ridiculous, the prices. I just, it's almost like a couple years ago 200 was kind of the standard for a niche. It's getting to the point where it's like close to 400 is the standard, and I wonder when that's going to stop. When will people quit buying them? And I understand they try to sell retail and then they go on discounters and get what they actually want. Maybe, I don't know how that works, but Chanel you can't find on discounters. There's got to be a price point. Where they stop, I just feel like I don't see a lot of people spending this amount of money on a fragrance. I mean, maybe people that have been wearing Allure for years and years and it's limited edition and they want to get the new one or something just to have, but there's much better fragrances out there for cheaper. And even the designers, this is just a basic ambroxany, like woody, the sandalwood's in it. I think it has some kind of synthetic sandalwood to smooth it out. I don't really get any strong citrus. It's not like a grapefruit balm or anything like that. It's just like I feel like if you're gonna smell this, you're just gonna think just basic fragrance, like a Tommy Blue or something like that. Honestly, the Polo Deep Blue is a better fragrance. If you want a good blue fragrance, designer, that one's much better in my opinion. I just don't see this competing with Dior Sauvage or Bleu de Chanel. Maybe if somebody wants like not a deep blue and like a lighter designer fragrance that's somewhat fresh but somewhat in that blue category, I could see this appealing. But I mean, I would go with any of the Dolce & Gabbana light blue flankers over this. I see those being much more liked, and they actually smell better and way cheaper than this. And the quality, I don't see the quality being high or anything in this, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't, and I heard they're gonna stop selling it at the end of the year. Once they run out, they run out. I don't know if they're gonna change the name or put it in a different bottle. I think it's just not going to sell that well, and I don't think they're gonna do anything else. So it might be a collector's item in the future or something, but it ain't worth getting. I wouldn't waste your money on this one. And yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. I mean, maybe they wanted to fill a void, and they already sell Bleu de Chanel like crazy, and maybe they thought like, let's do what's popular because Bleu de Chanel sells, but let's make a lighter version of that, so people that want something that's slightly fresher but still like that will buy this or something. But I don't know. It makes me wonder, what is Chanel's next fragrance going to be? I don't see them making another fragrance for a while if Bleu de Chanel is still like the best-selling fragrance or number 2 after Dior Sauvage or whatever. I think they're just going to keep selling that. Why take away sales by having a new fragrance and all the marketing for a new one that's going to cost them money? And I don't know what they could do for a new fragrance either. I mean, unless they copy, they could do like a Santal 33 or a woody fragrance, or they could do a green fragrance, maybe. Like, I don't know what they would do. Blue fragrances are still so popular, so I don't see a new fragrance coming out for the men's line for a while. Will they do an extra to Bleu de Chanel? they don't really follow trends, but I mean, if people are buying the perfume version of Blue de Chanel for whatever it costs 200, they might release an extrait because people buy expensive fragrances now, and they might release an extrait. I could probably see them doing a Blue de Chanel extrait before releasing another men's fragrance. They can include it in all the marketing they already do, the advertisement for Blue de Chanel, and then it would just be an option. I hope they don't do that. It seems like a lot of people want that. I hope not, but we'll see. We'll see, but yeah, the point of this fragrance is it's nothing special. If you're at the mall, smell it, and I feel like if you're into fragrances, you're going to probably think similarly to me. It's just I've smelled this so many times and it's nothing interesting. That's really it.